The way we heat our homes in the UK is changing forever. Every day in the news, we see the effects of climate change, caused by burning fossil fuels like oil and gas for decades. The UK government has set a target to bring all greenhouse gas emissions to net zero by 2050. And currently, domestic heating contributes 15% to the UK's annual carbon footprint. UK house builders have been installing gas boilers as standard for decades, but with new legislation banning them from 2025, that's all set to change. So what does this mean for house builders? Well, I've come to Mitsubishi Electric's head office to find out how their EcoDan heat pump is the perfect solution for the biggest shake-up to the way we build new homes in over 50 years. I'm here to meet Russell Dean, Head of Residential Heating and Ventilation. So Russell, how can Mitsubishi Electric help and support new build house builders?
We can take them on the whole journey really, from initially looking at their designs. We can do an initial quick design to help them with the sizing, through to a fully indemnified design for the properties on the heating systems. We can also help them train up their salespeople and show them and talk to them about what it's like to live with a low carbon heating system and the benefits of that to a homeowner. We also train their installers, and currently we're training up to 400 engineers a week on this technology. So we really are gearing up to help them on a mass market approach to new build housing. We can help with commissioning and handover as well. So it's a full support structure available to the house builders.
And you've also got lots of clever technology to help with that support once it's installed, haven't you?
Mm-hmm. One of the most important things we've got is our MailCloud system, which allows a homeowner to control their heating system on their smartphone device. They can see how efficient it is, they can see the carbon emissions, savings. We can also dial in as a company, so we can dial in and monitor the performance of that system. We can see what's happening in the occupied space. We can diagnose any faults in the operation. We can even remotely commission the system to make it more efficient. So yeah, it's that journey that we've learned over the past 13 years of getting the best out of this high technology.
And I suppose it's going to give people using this technology peace of mind that you're there.
Yeah, they can see live data on their smartphone or on their tablet about how that system's performing, what carbon they save that day, what their energy costs are, what the temperatures are in their home. Lots of useful information.
And let's talk about the Future Home Standard. It's a big piece of legislation that's been brought in by the government. What is it, and how is it going to affect the new build house builders?
It's very exciting. In its rawest form, we're talking about post-2025 no fossil fuel boilers in new build homes. So every new home that is built after that time will have a low carbon heating system in them. Be very, very efficient. Increased insulation, better air tightness. With those applying a low carbon heating system as well, you're looking at 75 to 80% carbon emission reduction.
Which is huge, isn't it? So no more gas or oil-fired boilers as standard. That means developers really have to change.
If you looked at Wales, Wales are already ahead of the curve. So right now in Wales, all new build social housing homes will not have a fossil fuel boiler in. They will have a low carbon heating technology. So they're ahead of the curve. And they're leading the way, and they're not waiting to 2025. And that's what we encourage a lot of house builders to do now, is don't wait for 2025, engage now. Let us help you, because waiting till you get to 25 is going to be too late. Let us help you change your processes, change the application of the technology you're using, and you're going to have a real success story come 2025.
So Russell, what makes EcoDan a really good solution for developers?
So no new build house is not suitable for a heat pump. You know, every new build house is absolutely spot on for a heat pump. We now have a low heat loss for every building, every new build building, so it's perfect for low carbon heating systems.
And are there any developers out there that you're currently working with that are embracing this technology?
Yeah, there's quite a few out there that are really making a difference and really surging ahead. One of the companies we're working for is Hopkins & Moore. And they're taking some real big steps with low carbon heating and looking at heat pumps as a real solution for all of their properties.
So they're really embracing this technology?
Yeah, and they're coming to us, asking a lot of questions, and we're working together, we're partnering, we're helping them through that process.
That sounds like a company I should meet.
Yeah, we'd like to introduce you.
Russell has arranged for me to meet with Lee Barnard, Group Managing Director of Hopkins Homes.
Hi, George.
Very nice to meet you.
Yeah, very good to
How's
meet
things?
you too. Yeah, really good, thank you. Follow me, come on up.
Lee and his team have been building award-winning homes across East Anglia for over 35 years. Lee, great to meet you.
Hi, George, you too.
Thanks for having me today.
You're very welcome.
So let's talk about renewable heating technology.
Yeah.
So just tell me what journey you and the business has been on when it comes to renewable heating technology and EcoDan.
The journey that we've been on, it's taken us a number of years to get to this point. So we have chosen to adopt it earlier than the Future Home Standard that's coming in. And across a number of our developments for Hopkins & Moore, we've now adopted EcoDan, probably on about 70% of those. And the reason we've done that is because our customers are looking for green credentials and more energy efficient heating. And therefore we had to look for solutions to deliver that, and we chose EcoDan.
And why did you settle for them?
A good backup. The installers get the advice and the guidance that they need, and the product's reliable too. They've got their own tech support for the teams on site in terms of installation. So from our perspective, pretty seamless. And you know, Hopkins & Moore builds quite a number of homes per year, so the easier things are, the better.
And over the years, has the business seen changes in perception with renewable heating technology?
Yes, we have. Once upon a time, it was an option. It wasn't something that people really knew about or considered. Whereas now what we find is that we are getting customers turn up to our sites and they're asking, what form of heating have you got in your house? Have you got underfloor heating? What drives it? And people are looking less and less at gas boilers and considering more greener technology.
And they have to look even more less at gas boilers because there's new legislation coming in for new build housing, 2025.
Yep.
What changes do you have to make to your business?
Well, as you say, the regulations are coming in and that will dictate the changes that we need to make. There's quite a lot to do, but the fact that we're already using this technology on a number of our sites and therefore early adopters of it will make the transition much easier for us.
And why did you embrace it early, before the legislation?
Customer demand. We're finding that customers are requesting it. From our perspective, in terms of designs of our properties, it meant we could do away with radiators on the ground floor and put underfloor heating in, which are better for furniture. So numerous reasons is why we decided to adopt it early. Plus also it gets us a greater understanding of the technology and the use of it. Prior to it becoming regulation, we have to install it.
Yeah, I suppose it focuses everybody's mind in the business and on site that this is new. It's coming as legislation, but they can learn now.
Absolutely. They can learn now without the pressure of the regulation coming in and dictating it has to be done.
What challenges does the industry face meeting the new home standard?
The industry faces quite a lot of challenges, and probably the key one is that our current installers are obviously fossil fuel trained predominantly, so they've got to move over to this new technology and therefore they've got to be upskilled and trained to be able to install it, so that's one issue. At the moment, as an industry, we're probably installing around 30 to 40,000 of these units per year, and by 2028 the government wants to take that up to 600,000 per year at that point, so you can imagine the challenges in getting there are quite significant.
You know, that's kind of retraining, reskilling, upskilling, and getting all the talent that you need to understand that technology.
It is, hence it's quite a tall order. But I'm sure as an industry we're positive, we're optimistic. As an industry I'm sure we'll get there, but those targets are pretty strong.
And as a company, you've jumped in early.
We have jumped in early, absolutely, yes. We've got a number of our developments, as I've said, where we're utilising the EcoDan technology on our sites, which is great for our customers, great for us, yeah. So we are an early adopter.
So can I see one of your developments?
You certainly can. I have one quite close by and we can pop over.
Fantastic. The Hopkins & Moore site at St Peter's Place in Stutton consists of 34 properties, ranging from 2-bedroom coach houses to a 5-bedroom detached home. Not all of them are finished yet, but when they are, every home will be using an EcoDan air source heat pump for heating and hot water. So Lee, here we are outside of one of your developments. Looks really, really good at the back of the house.
Thank you.
What's the process of specification been like with the EcoDan pre-sales team?
Yeah, the process has been really seamless. The team at EcoDan know their product, know their knowledge, and in terms of our team working with them, it's seamless in terms of planning, design and installation. So we're very pleased with what they do.
Now we're next to the 8.5 kilowatt unit. This is the one I've got outside my house.
Good, please hear it.
Works like an absolute dream.
Excellent.
Do you have this throughout the development?
We do. So across this development we have the 8.5 kilowatt version. It drives the radiators on the first floor and the underfloor heating on the ground floor, which is how we set things up.
And why do you have that mix?
People tend to want to put sofas and various other pieces of furniture in certain areas, and when you've got radiators in lounges and that, they can get in the way. So we've moved more towards this technology to eliminate that on the ground floor, but on the first floor we still put the radiators in.
And what sort of support do you get from EcoDan when it comes to installation and compliance?
They're really good. So from their perspective, our installing engineers can contact EcoDan. They've got a help desk. They can get straight through if they've got any technical issues or any compliance issues. They need to make sure that the installation meets all relevant regulations. They can just pick the phone up, they're a phone call away. So again, another reason that we specify the product.
Now, one of the misconceptions by people is that these could be noisy units.
Yep.
But it's really quiet, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I mean, that's the best way to demonstrate it. If anybody's got any concerns over noise, just come and stand next to them.
Lee, what advice would you give to other house builders and developers who have to make the transition to renewable heating technology?
I mean, future home standards coming in, so this technology is going to become more of the norm, driven by regulation, but now is a good time to onboard now. There's a sales benefit from a customer perspective, the perception buying the property. This is more of the latest technology. It's a green technology, so now's as good a time as any to do it and prepare for the future standards that are coming.
Get in there first.
Absolutely, yes, why not?
Very good advice. Well,
Excellent.
thanks very much.
You're
Good
welcome.
to see you.
You too.
The countdown to end the use of fossil fuels for home heating has begun. The UK government want to build over 300,000 new homes a year by the mid-2020s. Each one of these homes must have a future-proof heating solution. The house building sector shouldn't need to wait for government legislation to build high-quality zero-carbon homes. So it's great to see developers like Hopkins & Moore already installing heat pump solutions like EcoDan before 2025, helping to make sustainable heating the standard for all our new build homes. To find out more information about EcoDan for housing developers, visit their website at ecodan.co.uk.